guys. We'll start an opening statement with a big sigh of relief. I know that's not the proper way to do things, and that's not good coach talk, but what a win. Proud of the way the guys responded with everything that occurred. Obviously, it's been a crazy few months, but at the end of the day, we found a way to win against a great opponent. Arkansas State bought it. We know that we're going to have to face them for many years to come. They're well coached. They're well balanced. They gave us everything we could handle. But again, I liked our guys' mindset. I guys liked our approach. We saw some good things, offense, defense, and special teams. Obviously, a ton of things to clean up. I'm never going to be happy with the number of penalties we had. Some assignments we got to get fixed. Hopefully we can get healthy this week and look forward to a great opponent in Houston coming to the Liberty Bowl here in a few short weeks.
All right, first question for Terry.
Hey, congratulations on your first win, Coach.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hey, you said Memphis is always built for playmakers. Talk about the job that Sean Dykes and not only Drake did, but Kylan Watkins did in their opening game this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have the stat sheet in front of me, but I believe Sean Dykes had 10 catches. Just did an excellent job, especially down the red zone, caught some middle seams. I'm just proud of him. Obviously, he stepped up in the run game. We asked him to do quite a bit, and for a guy coming off an injury last year to come back, fifth year to play the way he did, at a level he did. Plus, he's just been, excellent off the field as well. He's been a leader. He's been the best. What I always say is Sean Dykes, he's been since he's been here. So really proud of his performance. Obviously, Drake Clark, Kylan Watkins, guys that filled in roles that they've never filled in. Someone reminded me before this game that our top 3 rushers from last year are no longer here. And I said, I didn't want to hear that. Just made the pit in my stomach a little bit bigger before kickoff. But really proud of those guys. Obviously, DeMonte Cooks, he stepped up. And, just proud of the overall effort of everybody around. Obviously, the quarterback that goes out there was really excellent in the red zone. Obviously, his poor decision throwing back across the body. We got to get that stuff cleaned up. But at the end of the day, proud of the way the offense performed.
Steven Johnson.
Hey, how's it going, Ryan?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing okay. It's been a crazy off season, and I know this week was particularly crazy for you in the program. So just when the clock hit 0, how good did it feel to just kind of walk away with your first win?
It does feel great. Obviously, I'm happy to get my first one of the belt. I was the longest tenured 0-1 football coach in the country, so I had to get that bad taste out of my mouth. I hate being a loser, and being 0-1 for 8 months really it did not feel good. So, but at the end of the day, our guys so proud of their effort as a team effort. I mean, the coaches, the assistant coaches did such an excellent job with the game plan. And then it all falls on the shoulders of our players who were outstanding. They had great resolve. Again, a lot of stuff that we can improve on and clean up from, but kudos and credit to the players. Our student athletes showed up today with everything else with great focus and found a way to claw scratch and found a way at the end of the day to show up with the W.
Devin Walker.
First off, Coach, congrats on the win, your first win.
Thank you.
Walk me through that fake punt call. We saw JoJo kind of take off down the left side of the field. Walk us through that call, and what was your reaction when you saw JoJo take off?
I think part of our job as coaches is to kind of see what the team gave us. Obviously, like I said, Arkansas State's well coached. They do a nice job on special teams. We saw something in the previous punt that was there. Coach Limbo is a great special teams coordinator. So all I had to do was give them the thumbs up to go, and then the players executed. Great job by the blocking unit. And then Big JoJo's nothing like seeing a 270-pound D tackle fullback rumble down the field. I told him if he was a little bit faster, he may have scored, and we could have celebrated. But it was a well-executed play, and great job by Coach Limbo dialing it up.
All right, Jacob Rice.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on your first win. Sound like a broken record, but so you guys outscored Arkansas State 30-10 after the first quarter. How excited does this make you to go back to a team and get right back to coaching them?
Yeah, the first quarter, I would like to flush it down the toilet. It was bad all around, and that starts with me. I've got to get our guys, to calm down. I knew they would play hard. I don't ever doubt that this team's going to play hard. We just got to be able to play fundamentally sound. I think there's some emotions of the first game being in a unique environment. So the first quarter was not good enough in any phases of the game. But then, our guys did respond. I think if you looked at their eyes at halftime, their eyes were glowing. They were bright-eyed. And I think when I can look at them and smile and say, we got this, I know they'll go out there and execute. So really proud, really, of the execution from the second quarter on. But we can't start like that. We talk about finishing, and I knew it would be a 4-quarter game. But at the end of the day, and I know I keep saying at the end of the day, really proud of the way. That's coach talk for you guys, as you journalists get tired of hearing it. So and I'm excited, really. I mean, we do need to catch our breath. It's been an interesting couple months. But, we'll practice again tomorrow, give the guys off Monday, and do a modified bye week. But we got a great opponent in Houston coming.
Chris?
They were Arkansas State. They were attacking Oliver pretty early at that corner spot, but he seemed to get better as the game went on. Had the really nice interception. What can you say about the job?
Chris, you're going to be the only reporter not going to congratulate me on my win or show a puppy in your deal, because I know your whole dog thing. So I'm really disappointed in you. So I will answer your question just only halfway. Savante Oliver, we threw him out there in the mix. First game starting. Proud of the way he did, right? You're right. They were picking on him, and they made some plays. Like I said, Arkansas State's got a heck of an offense. They got some quarterbacks that can play. They got some good-looking wide receivers that play for a lot of college football teams. But, you look at Savante's interception, that's going to build confidence from here on out, right? You can never have enough corners, and just proud of him. He's got to learn from a lot. He's going to see his techniques and stuff, but just proud of the way he responded. Hopefully he's okay with his injury in the fourth quarter. But, anytime a young man, especially as a corner, has to go against those type of receiving corps in his first start and come out the way he did, I think he'll have a bright future with us.
Raven?
Congrats on your first win of the season, Coach. Hopefully,
Thank you.
many. So my question kind of goes back to how you were saying how it was a kind of a slow start in the first quarter. I mean, going into halftime with less than a minute to go, you guys scored a touchdown. How important was that touchdown to kind of get you guys in gear and set up momentum for the second half?
That's a wonderful question. I talk about situational football all the time. That's one of those things we try to practice with a shortened training camp. That was my one worry. Are we going to get enough situational football in a 2-minute situation? Obviously, having a veteran quarterback like Brady be able to lead them down, it sometimes says maybe we're not as smart as we think we are as coaches. Maybe we should just go try to play fast and let the players go out there and make plays. But they put together an excellent 2-minute drive. They handled themselves the right way and ended the right way. And I think that gave us momentum going to halftime. I think that's important. We always talk to our guys about momentum is only going to affect those that allow it to. But we certainly needed that. I felt it gave us a sense of, okay, as long as we don't, hurt ourselves with stupid penalties and do things like that and make mental mistakes, we have a chance.
Mark Giannotto?
Congrats on reaching your first off week, Ryan.
Thank you, Mark.
This is a two-part question. You had several secondary members, it seemed like in particular, but 3 guys who were listed as starters atop the depth chart all week who didn't play. Is there any, can you comment at all on that?
Yeah, we're going to do everything we can to keep our team healthy. Obviously, like I've told you guys before, I don't comment on injuries or COVID-related issues or even opt-outs, but we're going to do everything we can to keep our program healthy. And I was glad that a lot of those guys that weren't expected to be starters filled those roles, and really proud of the effort they did.
The second part was to follow up. Is this just part of the new normal of college football this year? You're going to have some unexpected things every game?
Can I give you an answer you don't want to hear? I hope not. I hope it's not part of the new normal, at least for the Memphis Tigers or for any collegiate football program, because by the time you see me, guys, my hair will be completely gray if this is the new deal. No, it's part of adjusting. And like I said, is it stressful? Heck yeah. But the kids are the ones that are steadfast and don't blink an eye. I'm probably the one that's pulling my hair out and freaking out and saying, oh my gosh, next man up mentality, what are we going to do? The sleepless nights. But again, our kids have great resolve. So really, like I keep saying, I'm really proud of our student athletes. They could have said, woe is me. And you're right. They could have looked out there, and I'm sure you guys did, and said, wait, who is this? Who's this playing again? I don't remember him. Ryan didn't even talk about him on the depth chart. But again, it's part of it. And I think we're all going to have to adapt and adjust, give credit to the young men for having great resolve.
Thanks.
And Collier?
No. Clayton, no.
Okay, Clayton, try.
I can get it on. Is it going?
We're going to have him on my computer.
Oh, no.
So, Coach, congrats on the win.
Make sure y'all social distance.
Hold on, so just obviously the atmosphere is a lot different. The post-game press conference is a lot different, but is there any additional appreciation in being able to be here to play, not only get your first win, but to actually, have this moment, even if there is 4,500 people here?
To do it in the Liberty Bowl in front of those 4,500 diehard fans was awesome. I think anytime you get the opportunity to run out the gates with the stadium, regardless what the rest of the atmosphere looks like, you're appreciative. And like I tell our guys, even before we left the hotel this evening, early evening, I told them to be grateful because there's a lot of our friends and a lot of our people that we know in this profession that don't have this opportunity to go out there and play the game, right? Whether their seasons are canceled or games are postponed. And so let's be grateful. And I think with that mindset, appreciation for getting the chance to play a game of football against a great opponent in our home stadium to open the 2020 football season, it's awesome. And again, credit and appreciation to those fans that showed up. Obviously, millions of fans that watched on ESPN. Really happy that we're able to perform for them, and I hope we can continue to perform at a high level to make everybody happy.
All right, Steven Johnson.
Coach, as you kind of said earlier, that first quarter was really tough, but from a defensive perspective, you guys really buckled down, and honestly, it seemed like if it wasn't for kind of mistakes, they might not have scored again. So what adjustments, if any, did you guys kind of make after the first quarter on the defensive side?
Yeah, Steven, Arkansas came out, firing on all cylinders, and they were playing really fast. And I think that's the first time that, we try to speed up the game on them against our defense, throughout the weeks and, in training camp. But, we're not necessarily always a fast tempo offense. And Arkansas State, that's what they do. They play as fast as they can, and they do an excellent job executing. And, when those scrimmages occur, we weren't getting, more than 40 snaps for those defensive guys. So it was unique. It was different. We've got to continue to push, make sure their strength and conditioning is in check with what they need to be able to play a 4-quarter game. But I do think they settled down. It was their first time, executing that scheme like that against an opponent. So I think once they were calm down, catch their breath, realize that if they execute the call, that they'll be just fine. Obviously, Coach Mack and his staff did a wonderful job of changing a little bit of things they needed to do and adjust on the fly. And then you're right that, we can't have those type of penalties that we had in the fourth quarter. It's inexcusable. Obviously, a roughing the passer and unnecessary roughness, that's 100% my fault. And I got to make sure that stuff doesn't occur in our program. We get that cleaned up. Then you get the pass interference in the end zone. And then I had a ref that was chewing my tail out about a delay of game on the defense. And I'll leave that one for a discussion for another time because I'd like to keep my wallet where it is. And so we just got to continue to improve. We got to get rid of some of those penalties that were unnecessary, and that starts with me.
Gary Davis.
Hey, Coach, to be an old school guy, you brought back some new school ways. The turnover belt, man, how did you get the players to get that back into rotation?
That's all the defensive guys. Coach Mack's an old school man as well, but if you can't appreciate it, a good championship wrestling belt, then, shame on you. You probably shouldn't be around me too often. So it was cool to see. I think they appreciate that stuff. There's all sorts of quote unquote flair on the sidelines these days at age, especially on the defense side. But hey, when we get 3 turnovers, I don't care what the heck they have. They can have a turnover pencil, turnover backpack, turnover robe, turnover belt. As long as we get to see some type of turnover object out there, I'm all fired up for it.
All right, Chris.
You obviously had some guys out. I know you haven't really wanted to talk much about the COVID situation, but just how do you feel about your team relative to kind of dealing with that?
Chris, we've been as transparent with our players as we can. We talk about everything. We talk about injuries. We talk about opting out amongst our program, right? We talk about COVID. We talk about how it can affect us, the protocols we have to go through. We constantly, we're almost straightforward in their face, telling them this is exactly what's going to happen. Here's how it looks. So there are no surprises. again, our guys understand that there are certain things, whether it be, contact tracing that can occur, they can have an effect on team. I'll just say this, for the most part, our guys have done it the right way by trying to limit exposures, by trying to live the right way with that. But the contact tracing can affect you. It's just part of it. I think we're going to see that throughout college football. We'll see games that are canceled, right? But simply because someone told me that Texas State lined up with no tight ends because of contact tracing, not because any of the individuals were sick, but it's part of it. And I think we're going to see that throughout the time. It's just as coaches, when you test 3 times a week, it's 3 sleepless nights till the results, but it's part of it, and we're all going to move forward with it. But again, our guys have the understanding of what comes with that stuff.
All right, Coach, your last question comes from Jeff Calkins via me, and he wants to congratulate you as well. But he wants to ask you about the atmosphere tonight and how did it feel? Yeah, well, sorry I don't get to see Jeff's pretty face on here, but Jeff, to answer your question about the atmosphere, look, it was 4,500 fans, but I hopefully our guys aren't looking up in the stands. I think most of them were, families and of our coaches. So, again, grateful to have those people out there. We're just really honestly happy to have as many fans as we can in the Liberty Bowl. They were cheering. You could actually hear them. So proud of the way they showed up. And I think, our guys don't get deterred by that. We had some scrimmages out there with some, without noise. So we tried to prepare for that and practice with that and try to tell them, hey, look, you're going to run out there. It's going to look a little bit different. We ran out to smoke like we're a 1980s high school team. That's part of it. And, but I think the guys got a taste for what it'll be like from here on out. And they have an understanding. All the stuff on the outside doesn't matter when you line up between the white lines and get to go play football. Maybe it was me, they could hear me yelling, try and change some calls and stuff like that, but all part of it. And again, grateful for that. And hopefully, down the road, we can continue to have more of our wonderful fans in the Liberty Bowl. All right. Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great night. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.